Rowdy and Willing. To Tame a Burly Man, Book 2 by Frankie Love. Narrated by Scott Rose and Ayla Arian. 1. Williams.
It's on the house, Williams. You did one hell of a job with my old truck. Mitch slides me a glass tankard across the counter, filled to the frothy brim with my preferred booze. Think nothing of it. It's my job, and you paid for it. Mitch leans on the counter. It's pretty slow right now, so he doesn't have any other patrons to tend to. You went the extra mile. My truck is from the 1980s, and you got parts in for it ASAP. I shrug. I know you needed to go visit your mother. It's really no big deal. Oh, it is. I had a breakdown in Seattle once, and I had to spend a week in a hotel because they refused to speed up any of the orders. I laugh. They were probably just lazy. I didn't tell Mitch this, but the repair job I did for him only required a bit of tinkering, making another truck's part fit his older model. I have some minor engineering skills that serve me well in my job. If you really want to spoil me, how about a batch of the saloon's famous mozzarella sticks? Be right out for you, Will. This is small-town life. It's about supply and demand, bartering. You watch other people's back, you help them out, and they'll help you out in turn. Sure, you still exchange money. That's just how the world works today, and people need money to get by. But it's mostly about being a community, an extended family of sorts. It's the great thing about a place like Burly. I sip my beer, looking about, passing my time. It's still the early bird hours at the bar, but I wanted to make sure I have plenty of time before nightfall. I've never been the type to come to the bar to drink alone. I come here with purpose. Today I'm meeting with an old friend. Mitch returns, dropping off the basket of mozzarella sticks. Fresh batch, right out of the fryer, just for you, Will. Thanks a lot, Mitch. You treat a man just right. Just doing my job, he says with a smile, throwing my words back at me. Chuckling, I take one, dip it in the healthy supply of marinara he gave me, and chew as I think about the person I'm about to meet. Wendy Jones. Middle school best friends, and we always wanted to keep it like that. Burly isn't a very big town, and the school we went to reflected that. Most of the kids were pretty typical small-town rural types, into horse riding, sports, and the like. Wendy and I, we were nerds compared to them. And not the Dungeons and Dragons kind. We were into machines and technology, and how it all worked. Ever since I was a kid, I've been interested in what makes things tick. How did our tractor plow the field? How did the milking machines work? I created my fair share of chaos back in the day, taking things apart only from... That isn't an issue anymore. My brother Cash has taken over the ranch, but I'm still on board as the all-around repair guy. It's the 21st century. Even ranches got to be wired up. I keep everything flowing so the business can be done and all the machines are in good order. Growing up, Wendy was a kindred soul. We both had a curiosity about machines and technology, and she was the only girl in our high school mechanics class. Maybe because the other guys thought less of her for being a girl, I hit it off with her. As friends, I remind myself. Now, we never became anything else. We were close, but so many stories of relationships becoming more than friends and failing scared me off of pushing for more. And I knew her well enough to see it scared her too. So we stayed friends. Even though we were single, even through the prom, which we went to together, as friends. Both of us were really dedicated to not crossing that line. We went to a state technical school together, and then I went back to the ranch to be useful there. Wendy, though? She had to go elsewhere. Burly's too small of a town to find a job like what she was looking for, and our local auto mechanic didn't need another set of hands. Her father runs an auto parts store, but it's just a store, not a garage. So, off to Seattle she went, working on cars and making some good money. The money's a consolation prize for not being able to work where she wanted. And we've stayed in touch, mostly over the internet. She seems to hate it in Seattle, always bickering about big city life and how rude everyone is to her. But she's kept at it, and has done well for herself. When Wendell Reese fully retired and left his auto repair place here in town to his son, Jacob, I put in a good word for Wendy. Jacob was hesitant, but her credentials couldn't be denied. Everyone she's ever worked for has given her rave reviews. and she made them believe that you don't need a dick to be good at getting cars running. So she's finally coming home after all these years, and really, I can't wait. I can't believe how much I've missed her and how excited I am that she was coming back to town. I set up this date for us as soon as I heard. Date in that it's a time when we're meeting, I mean, not like a date in the romantic sense. With another sip of my beer, my eyes dart around the saloon. I can't wait to see her again, and my anticipation is killing me. There she is, though, pushing through the door. God damn, she's something special. She has curves for days, tight grease-stained jeans showing them off, and the old metal band t-shirt from the 80s that she's wearing is just as good at showing her form off. She's as cute as a button, her hair tied back in a bun. Despite her very tomboyish interests, she's kept a feminine edge, and that means plenty of scrunchies when it comes to not getting her hair caught in an engine belt. Her face lights up when she sees me. I can't believe how much I miss seeing her. She rushes up to me. "Williams, how long has it been since we've talked in person?" "Years." Truth be told, even a week is too long to go not talking to her, even if it has to be online. I've invited her to Christmas and family dinners over the years, but maybe she thought it was weird for a friend to come to a family thing. Because that's what we are, friends and not more than that. A fact I have to keep reminding myself of. Even as we share a brief hug, one that she forces herself away from rather than lingering. We sit down and I order her a beer. Mitch delivers it swiftly but keeps quiet knowing we're already in the midst of a conversation. "So, what's it like slotting back into Burly, Wendy?" She takes a swig of her beer. "Everything feels different, yet exactly the same. It's comforting to a degree." "You'll get right back into it. I'm sure everyone remembers you. You're not like the other girls after all. Not a lot of chicks going around smelling of motor oil instead of flowers and berries." "I try to get the smell out, but I guess it's too strong to overcome." "Hey, I'm not complaining. I kind of like it, honestly. It's your own unique fragrance. Bottle it up and market it." She shakes her head, amusingly annoyed. "I'm sure it'll fly right off the shelves." I move the mozzarella sticks between us, shifting a napkin out of the way. Wendy stops me. "Wait, what's this?" I glance at my work. Oh yeah, I was doodling an idea I had when I was working on one of our tractors. It's a mod I want to put into one of the ranch's vehicles. She looks at it. "Something with the lubrication supply?" I nod, thinking of a way to keep some fresh oil on the moving parts to keep it moving smoothly with good and steady rationing. If everything is kept oiled up, the wear and tear on the machine will greatly decrease and save us a bunch of money in the long term. But I'm trying to think of some way to keep the supply separate from the machinery until it's needed. We aren't going to save any money if we're just dumping endless doses of oil over everything. I think I was onto a massive efficiency increase. I just need to connect the last few dots. Wendy studies my rough design. No one could ever make sense of my technical doodles and handwriting except her. She can read it with no problems and interpret it fully, even hastily scribbled down on a napkin. "A timed release, a latch, and a brush. That's what this needs, and I see where to add it." She snatches a pencil out of a cup on the bar, the ones usually meant for trivia night. She adds notes to my design, scribbling some stuff out, and "You add these modifications to your plan, and it should run absolutely perfectly." I look at her design. She's right. And she's brilliant as always. You really should be more than an auto mechanic, Wendy. You're too smart to just be fixing everyone else's mistakes. Hey, I like fixing everyone else's mistakes. At least I like fixing yours, she says with a sly smile looking my way. I study the design further. You know, this could be applied to more than just tractors. How many cars come in broken down because their owners didn't change their oil for 3 years?